Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. I hope you guys are doing well. This is Raj here, and today I would like to return to the core of our focus, that is genomics, and I want to talk to you about beam therapeutics. I feel that as I was looking at a whole lot of therapies and diseases, I missed out to highlight one of the important developments post Q3 earnings from beam therapeutics, and I think I'll take the opportunity today to set that right. However, before proceeding further, may I request that while you watch this video, please consider pressing the like and subscribe button, as it helps the channel. And also it lets me know that you see value in my work, and that's very motivating. With that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. We sure talked about the Q3 results a while ago for many companies, including Beam. One factor that I did not dwell on was the announcement from Beam that they are not going to file the IND-enabling application for Beam 102. This seems to have not been received well in the market based on the stock price movement. For context, let us compare Beam Therapeutics pipeline with those of other genomic companies. Here we are in my spreadsheet where I have compiled some data. So I have the list of companies out here, starting from Bluebird all the way to Verve, and I've sorted them according to the year in which they were founded. Like Bluebird was founded in 1992, it's a very old company, and compared to Verve, which is a more recent company. And I've also put into columns their candidates in discovery, number of candidates in the enabling stage, and number of candidates in clinical trials, and where possible, products that they already have. So you can see that Bluebird has got two products in place. One is Zynteglo, other is Skysona, both FDA approved. And they have got one candidate in the discovery and one in enabling, and two in clinical trial, again for sickle cell disease. So Bluebird looks pretty good. It has got deep value, but it is cash strapped. So if they manage to pull through this situation, they would be a very valuable company. They already have 27 potential patients lined up to be onboarded for Zynteglo. So it looks promising out there. Now, if you look at Caribou Biosciences, they were founded in 2011, and they have 3 in discovery and 2 in clinical trial. So as long as I see something good happening in the clinical trial, I'm pretty happy. And also Caribou gets licensing fees and all that, and they are also developing platforms. So nothing much to be worried about out there. CRISPR Therapeutics, founded in 2013, has got 12 in discovery stage, 5 in enabling, and 5 in clinical trials. And we should note that they're very, very close to monetizing on Exaccel for sickle cell disease. So, and they have already published a target timeline for progressing Exaccel. So I'm pretty happy with CRISPR overall. It's got great value and it's adequately funded. If you look at Editas, which was also founded around 2013, they have 3 candidates in discovery, 3 in enabling, and 1 in clinical trial. So if you compare Editas to CRISPR Therapeutics, you can see the difference in performance that's been shown by CRISPR. Again, Intellia, founded in 2014, has got 6 in discovery, 4 in enabling, and 4 in clinical trial. So in my books, I think Intellia has done better than Editas in terms of progressing candidates through the pipeline, because at the end of the day, the more products you have, the earlier you have, the more profitable and viable you become. So from that perspective, Intellia seems good. Beam has got was founded in 2017. It has got 7 in discovery, 2 in enabling, and only 1 in clinical trial. And with the discounting of Beam 102, it could have been 2, but it continues to be 1. We'll talk about the ramifications of this as we go further and look at just the Beam pipeline. Next is Verve, which was founded in 2018. It has got only 1 candidate in enabling stage and 1 in clinical trial. And in my opinion, Verve is defying gravity with its share price. I'm missing something out here, but they just have got 2 candidates out here, 1 in clinical trial and 1 in enabling. And still their stock price is very buoyant. So I'll figure that out someday and I'll share it with you. And if some of you already know the answer, just put it in the comments so that I can consider that as one of the areas in which I can look at for answers. Having seen how Beam Therapeutics pipeline compares with others, now let us focus on Beam Therapeutics pipeline itself to understand the disappointment expressed by investors. I'm in the Beam Therapeutics pipeline, and I'm looking at all the candidates out here. As you can see, Beam 101 was in phase 1 of 2, and Beam 102 was just about to enter into phase 1 of clinical trials when they decided to refocus, as they say here, refocusing on escape or in vivo delivery. So, and another statement they made along with that was a bit worrisome. They said that they will focus their efforts on improving Beam 101. So the question is it not already good enough to progress through the clinical trials and get monetized? So that's the question you get there. And if you look at all the therapies that they have here, they got only one therapy in clinical trial, and they got a lot in discovery stage and only a couple in enabling. So it doesn't look that great out here if you look at this this chart itself. I feel that the price action is showing us that the investors are now starting to demand more progress from Beam, as the new spin-offs of Prime Medicine and Orbital creates a more complex landscape. Even I'm trying to identify the synergies and how Beam will benefit from these new developments. The decision of not progressing Beam 102 to end enabling makes me doubt what was so wrong with Beam 102 in the first place. Also, the company is reported to have said that it will focus on improving the safety and efficacy of its other SCD programs, which I read as Beam 101. So does that mean that Beam 101 is still not good enough to clear the clinical trial and it needs extra efforts, which will come at the expense of suspending Beam 102? So those are the kind of thoughts that come to my mind. If we look at this situation in light of Zynteglo already onboarding patients and CRISPR Therapeutics publishing target dates for its lead SCD therapy, it seems very disappointing. Now, instead of having 2 clinical trial therapies, Beam has only 1. Experts point out that the data for Beam 101 will not arrive until 2025. By that time, not only would Zynteglo get a foothold, but also CRISPR Therapeutics would have their exa-cell in the market. At the end of Q3, Beam disclosed that it had 156.51 million in cash and 938 million in cash equivalents. It also had an accumulated deficit of $1 billion in its balance sheet at the end of September 2022. If you put everything together, it seems like Beam has not achieved much towards monetizing any therapy, even if you look all the way out to 2025. Not a happy feeling for a shareholder in these economic times, which are very, very tough with the high interest rate regime. Again, in this context, if we were to look at Verve, it seems to be super highly valued with just one therapy in clinical trial and one therapy in enabling stage. So the genomics landscape from a valuation perspective looks a bit skewed. I would like to hear all of your opinions in the comments below, because we need to share our thoughts. I'm also an investor just like you, and I'm also constantly looking for information. So please feel free to share your thoughts, contrarian or otherwise, in the comments below, not only with regard to Beam, but also with regard to Verve, because those are 2 areas where I think the value is off whack. Yeah, that's all from me for now. Please let me know your thoughts on Beam. And do you agree with my analysis? If you have contrarian views, I'd still be glad to hear them. That said, I would like to say bye for now. You have a great day. Catch up with you later.